Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. I wasn't really sure what to create for today. I lost my mojo just a little bit, mainly because my craft desk is in a bit of a mess and I should really be tidying. But this morning I came across a YouTube channel by a lady called Patty Dolan, and she's got quite a few of fun fold cards on her channel, and this is what I like doing. And I see things and then I sometimes make them even easier. So I've picked a few of these fun folds for my next few videos. I will mix it up with stamping as well, as in have separate videos, because I do like my Lavinia stamps, and there is something coming up for that soon as well. But for today's card I thought I'd do a quick and easy but effective fun fold that I have never done before. I have prepared a little bit though, because I wanted to keep this video short, and I've come back to this pad here from the works that is quite a few years old, fresh feeling. So this is all sea themed. I'm enjoying the colours of this, and I've already got a recipient in mind for this card, who is a male. I don't want to say anything else just in case he watches my channel. I don't want to spoil it for him. But I think a sea theme works really nicely for men, because I think they enjoy that. So for this card, by the way, I have chosen this pattern paper, but I'll show you these measurements in a moment. For the card base, you need an A4 sheet. Let me just zoom into my measurements before I show you the full-sized card. So an A4 sheet is 11 5/8 long and 8 1/4 wide. And I'm putting my finger on the 8 here actually. I just cut a 1/4 inch off. You can use the full length and then alter your measurements. And Patty Dolan, she did all American measures, but I thought I'd just cut the 1/4 inch off. So, and then you need to score the page. And I've already done this here, but I don't think the camera, it just picks it up there. You score on the long length here at 2 and 6. So you basically got 2 inches from either side. But, oh sorry, I forgot one thing first. So first of all, you score at 5 7/8, which is the middle of the A4 sheet. And then you do the 2 and 6 inches, but you only score to this score line here. Yeah, because the other lines here, they need to be cut. You can, if you want to, score all the way through and then cut on the score line. I personally don't like the look of that. I always think you can cut the score line away and go a bit slimmer. I just don't like the look of that, and this is why I decided only to score. Well, I scored just over that middle line just to make sure I grab that. So I have got, let me just zoom out again, a trimmer out. I normally use my guillotine, but the guillotine is no good if you have to cut in the middle of your sheet. So I just got this one out here. This was actually a freebie I got off somebody, so I can align my score line here on the top. I'll just zoom in again. So I can align my score line here with that trim line here, so that I know it's going to score on that line. So I'm laying this down here. I'm zooming out again. I've got my horizontal score line here, so I'm just moving this here until that little notch here on the side lines up with that, and then I can press it down and cut all the way down. So, and I'm doing the same on the other side. So I'm aligning the score line with that little I'm not even sure what you call it, you know, the notch, that thing here, groove, that's the word. Sometimes my internal dictionary doesn't want to open. So again, I'm aligning this here now, pressing this down, and then go down here. So this is not a new trimming board, and I've actually got quite a few threads here, but I'll show you in a moment how to get rid of these. So these here, you can cut them off again with your trimmer, but for short lines like that, I prefer to just use my scissors. So, and I will actually, again I'm zooming in, sorry about the shade there, that is my box of ribbon, I'll show you that in a moment. So I will just trim the score line away there. Until I hit that and it comes off. There we go. So same on the other side. I'm just seeing I'm a bit out there actually with my line. I might have to remedy that. I thought I was there with my trim line. I have to come in again, I think. Can you see? That's the score line there, and this is where I actually cut. So I have to remedy that. I hope I can do that. But I just want to show you, if you've got threads like that, rather than coming in with your scissors or with your guillotine again, you can use an emery board, like a nail file, and just go along there. Might even be better to come in from the other side, and that usually takes them off. It also depends not only on your trimmer, it also depends on the quality of the card, although this one's actually not a bad cardstock. I hardly ever use this trimmer. I've got another trimming function on my scoreboard. I might use that. Actually, it's the second time I've used this trimmer. So just tidying it up. I hope I wasn't focused all the time, but I think that'll be fine. So yeah, just go along with my fingernail there. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. But I have to trim this down here. I quickly do this off camera just to keep this video short. When I said I wanted to do it off camera, I was actually a bit cheeky because I knew this might be a little bit of a bummer. So I did it on my scoreboard, but I went from that end to that end, and then the little trim here the slither I cut off, it started to crease a little bit. So the last bit I had to cut with my scissors because I knew this wouldn't get straight, and it was still not straight, so I just went over it again. But I suggest you start from this point going down there. But because I turned it round and did it from the other side, my suggestion is you choose the side that's going to be the inside of the card, because that's the one we're seeing, and then you use your bone folder and you go over this, so that, you know, when you've got die cutting, you can see from which side you've cut it, and that will flatten that out a little bit, and that will be better. So now all we need to do is fold these score lines inwards. I think I haven't mentioned yet what this card is called. The lady called it a flip up, flip out card, I think. So one thing I noticed, or thought it would happen, I also think my scoreboard is a bit funny. I think sometimes when I do a gatefold card, it doesn't quite level up. Even though I've done 2 inches and 6 inches, I think one day I will treat myself to a different scoreboard. It is a funny one because this is a We Are Memory Keepers and it should be fine, but I've noticed that in the past. And I do notice that these here now interfere a little bit. Maybe I didn't fold it properly, but I think what I will do is just cut a slither off. I will quickly do that in my guillotine. So, but once I've done that, and I think I need to cut a little bit off the top here as well, then I can fold this over. So, and I'll just flatten that out here. Yeah, so I definitely need to do a little bit of trimming. So it's not the easiest of cards, but not too bad. So as I said, to trim this, I will just open this up here. I will trim this by hand, and again I think I haven't been quite on the line there with my scissors, because I can still see the score line there. And the rest I will just do my guillotine. I will just decide which one I'll trim. I think I'll trim this one here, because that seems to be the one that overlaps. Again, it might be, well, it shouldn't be wonky measuring because I've got the full width there. But yeah, one of those mysteries of my scoring board. The card opens up nicely now, so nothing interferes, and I also trimmed just a little bit off the bottom where it seemed to be a bit uneven. So have a play with this, make sure it is sort of even. This one's sort of missing a little bit on the side now that I've trimmed it twice, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine enough, I think. So I think it looks good as it is. So for the decoration of this, you need, let me just zoom in again on my measurements. You need 2 panels that are 5 5/8 by 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 wide and 5 5/8 in length. And 1 panel that is 3 3/4 by 5 5/8, which is for the front. I have already prepared these. So this is my front panel here. I have already put a ribbon around this because I showed you that very briefly earlier, was getting in the way there. I would like to get through my stash of ribbons. I've got so many ribbons in my stash, and I thought I'll just use one on the front here. And I think that'll work for men as well, as long as I don't put a bow on it or anything. But you could use some washi tape across, you could use some paper. All I've done with this is I have put a little bit of red tape on the back of the ribbon here, cut it off, and just stuck it on loosely, so it's still loose here. You could put something in the middle, but I don't really need that because I will have a topper on there. And for the decoration, I have come back to this set here. I used that with my little favour box the other day because I want to get through the stash of these decorations. And I have chosen a swarm of fish. Do you call it a swarm? I think you do. A school of fish, sorry. That's for the front here. But I'll use the same stamp again as in the box, Best Fishes. But when I first stamped it with my Versamark to emboss it, I missed a bit at the top, and I thought I could stamp it again. Obviously, that didn't work. But rather than die cutting this oval again, I thought I'd just turn it around. I didn't want to turn it this way around because you can see what the front and the back of a die cut piece is. And I thought I can easily cover the bottom here where I've still got the Versamark with my ephemera. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick these leaves or algae or whatever you want to call them down here. The fish can go on there, and then nobody will know that I actually had some stamped sentiment down there. And then for the decoration of these 2 panels here, I've chosen just a little fish and a starfish. You need something slimmer, obviously, for these panels. So first thing I'm going to do is glue this down. I'm just zooming out a little bit again. So this just goes on the front here. I'm just using my magic glue to glue this down. Make sure it's the right way around. So, and for these 2 panels, I have cut these from one piece, and I like to stick them so that the pattern is continuous. So I wouldn't want them this way around. That would just look awkward. So I'm making sure I'm sticking them this way around. and now I can decorate. So I thought this fish will just sit at the top there on that panel because it's facing that way. I want to put it on the left hand side, and now these have to go on flat because otherwise they would interfere with the top flap here. Obviously you don't have to put any ephemera on there. Look, I've got this little starfish here as well, so I'll just sit that in the corner here. But I think it's quite cute actually to have another to have some more images here rather than just the plain cardstock, especially with this one smiling at the recipient. This one looks a bit skeptical, but I'm sure it's a nice one. So, and then close this again and just decorate the outside. So I'm just gluing these on. So you might have been able to see me there just now, even though I sped up a bit. I was trying to pull this one out a little bit, which I sort of managed because this one's overhanging quite a bit and I wanted this to be even. And I'm also, I've got a bit of glue that I can wipe off there. But with this one here, I thought I will actually pop these up on foam because I think that would look quite nice. So I'm just getting my foam pads out. Yeah, so I'm happy with that now. So as you could see, I cut a few of these slimmer so I could fill up the different shapes there. So, and this one, because I've put the fish on foam already, I think this will just go on flat. I don't like too much of dimension. Having said that though, I will hand deliver this. So I changed my mind and I will actually put this up on foam as well. I quickly do this off camera, so I will fill this properly, just stick it on, and then I'll just show you the finished card. There we go, a flip up and flip open card. You can, if you want to, put another panel on the inside to put your sentiment on. I will do that once I have written it, because I don't want to make a mistake writing it and then I ruin the card, so I will do that at a later date. And this will have the same size as the outer panel. Bear with me again. So 5 and 5/8 by 3 3/4. But you don't have to do that. You can write straight on here. Yeah, I think this is a really nice card. Very versatile, because all you need really is the pattern paper, a base card. It doesn't even have to be a coloured one, although I really like that, and some sort of topper. Any topper would work. This would be nice as a Christmas card as well, and I'm sure I'll be making a few more of these. And it is easier when your trimmer is a bit more cooperative than mine. So I think when I do this again, I will try to actually cut this by hand. So I will put the score lines in all the way down and then cut the score line away with my good scissors. I think the result would be a bit better. But once you put the pattern cardstock on, the focus is not anymore on the side, and it's not really that visible where I've had a few threads here on the side. I can still see it as a paper crafter, but the recipient won't. Yeah, and if you like this card, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, especially as I've got a few more of these fun fold cards coming up now, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.